Sweet dreams unfold with tonight's cozy sleep story. You are listening to The Cider Shop, a bedtime story that brings us to a lakeside apple orchard on the first day of fall. The Cider Shop opens seasonally in a charming lodge with breathtaking lakeside views of sailboats meandering in the golden afternoon light. The afternoon unfolds with a walk through the orchards that lead to the lodge, where you enjoy cider and autumn treats on a deck before a sunset canoe ride. Retreat to your lakeside cabin, settling by the fire as the crisp autumn night brings the best sleep. It's time to dream away. Welcome to Michelle's Sanctuary. I'm Michelle, your fellow traveler on this imaginative bedtime escape. Think of me as a longtime friend, here to comfort you and turn your attention inward as you cater to yourself. You've made it through another day, and you deserve all the pleasant feelings that come from this sense of accomplishment. Leave the day behind you, reveling in this transitional time where you are completely in charge of your experience. Change any aspect of the story to suit your preferences, and feel free as always to fall asleep at any point. Shift your attention to your breath as we enjoy a few rounds of conscious inhalations and exhalations to come down from the day. Any thoughts left lingering or racing through your mind, you may imagine are swept away by a crisp autumn breeze that wafts through your room. The cool air caresses your face, bringing the subtle aromas of baked apples, sweet fallen leaves, and a crystal clear lake. Let out a sigh, casting your wish into the night, that you are enveloped with a sense of deep peace as you find deep rest. Feel your body melt into the support of your bed as you are safe in the sanctuary of your room and mind. Inhale slowly. All the cozy autumn splendors resonate within you as you graciously welcome this time for slowing down. Exhale with a deep sense of release. This is the season for letting go and for drawing inward. Savor every breath as you continue with a few more rounds at your own pace. Inhaling deeply as you take up all the space you can. Expand as much as your body will comfortably allow. And when your chest rises, you may wish to let out a yawn and then sigh, freeing yourself of pesky thoughts or lingering tension that merely get in the way of all you seek. Cast them off into the night, feeling the power of your breath. Engage in one more round, taking your time, settling in the softness of this heartwarming and mind-soothing night. You are doing all you need to do. As you inhale, perhaps yawn, and sigh it all away. Whenever you feel ready, allow your breath to flow into a natural, easy rhythm. And in this state of relaxation, it's time for the story to begin. A lake is the landscape's most beautiful and expressive feature. It is Earth's eye, looking into which the beholder measures the depth of their own nature. Henry David Thoreau. Applebrook Hollow, a quaint village nestled along the New York shoreline of Lake Ontario, was established in the mid-1700s. Lake Ontario, the smallest and easternmost of the Great Lakes, was formed by glaciers nearly 12,000 years ago and straddles the border between Canada and the United States. Sharply influenced by the changing seasons, the bustling summer activities that conjure the energy of camp become subdued as temperatures dip and the leaf-peeping season brings a wave of new visitors. Nothing quite marks the start of fall like the opening of the Cider Shop, a beloved gathering place that came to be long before the term pop-up shop became ubiquitous. From mid-September until December 1st, the Lakeside Lodge celebrates apple season with dozens of specialty cider drinks and rich autumnal decor. In the summer, the lodge hosts weddings and community events. But as the air cools and the leaves begin to change, it transforms into a haven of cozy gatherings. Floor-to-ceiling windows rise to the top of the A-frame design, offering stunning views of the lake, and a wrap-around deck furnished with swinging rattan hammock chairs, fire pits, and handcrafted Adirondack chairs. Whether settled into the plush indoor club chairs, a fireside nook, or the sweeping deck, there's no shortage of places to unwind and relax at the Cider Shop. The lodge becomes especially magical in September's gilded light, as the rich, fiery gold hues of sunset give way to the deep blues of nightfall, capturing the serene beauty of the season's transition in reflections on the lake. A welcome holiday brings you to Applebrook Hollow on the first day of autumn. A leisurely walk through the orchards brings a deep sense of peace and appreciation as the late afternoon sun hovers low in the sky, casting a warm light over the glistening red, pink, and green orbs of ripe fruit. Days are becoming shorter, creating a quiet sense of urgency in the afternoons to savor the fading light. Rows of apple trees fan out diagonally before you, featuring trees brimming with glistening fruit. You wear the uniform of the season in these parts. A warm, soft flannel shirt in a plaid pattern of your favorite colors. along with well-worn jeans and sneakers that carefully dodge the fallen soft apples on the ground. The air is crisp and particularly cool in the shadows of the trees, and the sweet and sour smell of fermenting apples mingles with the aroma of wood smoke and damp, wet earth. The picking season always begins earlier than one might imagine, as the Jonah Macs and Ginger Golds are readily available in the month of August. But somehow, it feels best to hold out for the cooler days. The days when it feels good to warm up the oven and bake an apple pie. The majority of the apple trees are nearing their most abundant days, their branches heavy with fruit, some almost touching the earth. You weave your way through the varied rows and sections, brushing your fingers across a Honeycrisp, its skin a blushing pink with soft banana yellow streaks. Nearby there are Gala apples, smaller and speckled with red and gold, while the slightly larger Empire apples shine in deep maroon, almost purple in the afternoon light. Some apples are vibrant and bright, like the tart Granny Smiths, glowing in sharp greens, and others, like the Macintosh, are smaller, pale red, and slightly soft to the touch. A scarecrow stands proudly in the middle of the rows, dressed in tattered overalls, a floppy hat, and donning an orange, gold, and brown plaid flannel shirt. A few other meandering souls on this quiet weekday pause with a wire basket in hand filled with their picked apples and playfully pose with a scarecrow. You offer to help an older couple take a photo, and they explain they have made it to Applebrook orchards during the autumn equinox for the past 40 years. You smile and appreciate their tradition as they carefully stand on their tippy toes, one on each side of the scarecrow they call Charlie, and mime a dramatic kiss on the scarecrow's cheek. The older man, with his receding silver hairline, jokes about his envy, as Charlie seems to be hanging onto more of his hair, even being out in the elements all these years. The kind old woman reveals that they have recreated this pose during every visit, even those when their son and daughter came along. Each autumn they arrange all these photos with Charlie, the original, and his scarecrow progeny in the foyer of their home, where all the trick-or-treaters on Halloween come and admire them through the years. The couple thanks you once more, and you feel the warmth and kindness of this brief interaction as it enhances the rest of your day. You slowly meander down the gentle foothills, finding your balance and avoiding the decaying apples as you come upon a clearing that reveals the lakefront lodge. The honeyed sunlight becomes more radiant and sparkling as it reflects off the gleaming copper logs of the lodge. A sign hangs from a log post with the words "The Cider Shop" burnt into its surface in a playful font, also featuring the outline of a steaming cup of cider and a pile of red apples painted along the bottom. Glowing apple-shaped lights hang from the railings and posts of a wraparound deck at the lodge. Each one glows softly in the daylight with a mix of scarlet and ruby reds and deep pinks, their presence becoming brighter and more visible as the sun lowers and nightfall arrives. Along one side of the lodge is a mural featuring glittery apples painted by the children of Applebrook Hollow. Each apple in the mural contains an inspiring motto for the fall season. Things like fall into magic, it's sweater weather, and lovin' those autumn vibes. The painting is bright and welcoming, with vibrant autumn colors and a cascade of falling leaves that form a carpet beneath the apples. You ascend a dozen stairs to the outdoor deck and step through sliding glass doors into the cider shop, greeted by the comforting aroma of spiced apples and cinnamon. The lodge is remarkably spacious, with polished wooden floors that serve as a dance floor for autumn square dancing parties. Cozy nooks throughout the space offer plush earth-toned velvet settees, sofas, and royal blue club chairs with autumn-themed throw pillows. Apple lights dangle from exposed wooden beams overhead, adding a pink glow as sunlight streams through the windows and reflects off the lake outside. Behind a glass counter, cider flows in steady streams from ornate fountains in rich caramel tones. A conveyor belt carries fresh cider donuts, winding around to a table where a young woman places them in boxes. She wears an apron and hat covered in an apple design. The air smells of fresh cider, fried dough, and baked goods. 2 elegant silver urns contain hot cider. The glass display case beneath the fountains overflows with apple cider donuts dusted with cinnamon sugar, and towering stacks of individual apple cakes, turnovers, and pies, their flaky crusts golden and perfectly crisp. Cafe tables feature mason jars containing webs of tiny red, pink, and gold fairy lights, and small wooden bowls of complimentary apple chips. The menu offers a list of dozens of possibilities, different ciders made with varying apple varietals, cider infused with berries, rich caramel, cinnamon, chocolate, with the option for whipped cream or toasted coconut to be swirled on top. A 3-tiered shelf of more than 30 flavored syrups made in-house includes unique offerings like gingerbread, coconut curry, praline, and peanut butter. Each cider is served in an autumn-themed glass from big ceramic mugs with hand-painted leaves that seem to dance around the rim in colors of orange, red, and gold, and an array of scarlet, orange, and amber translucent mason jars with apple tops. You take your time, considering which apple elixir speaks to you today, and a friendly guy named Joe behind the counter offers to sample any infusion you wish to try. You take him up on his offer and make your way through a few that he puts into tiny paper cups, finally settling on the most satisfying and palate-pleasing combination you can come up with. Joe hands you the drink in an oversized mug, and it's more beautiful in presentation than you could have ever imagined yourself, with a warm, fragrant cider cradled in both hands. You walk past a stone hearth where a fire burns brightly, and the crackling of the fire mingles with the crisp air that flows in from the sliding glass doors, bringing with it the fresh scent of the lake. You breathe in deeply. The air is alive with the smells of apple pastries, baking spices, wood smoke, and fresh water. Combined, these aromas stir cozy feelings of being at home and the best autumn memories. The wooden boards of the deck creak softly beneath your sneakers as you make your way to an Adirondack chair nearest the railing. As you sit, the wooden back curves around your spine with ample support as you settle and take in the best view of the lake and the docks below. The water shimmers in the amber sunlight, and sailboats drift lazily in the distance. Scattered across the deck are other guests, happy to indulge in this perfect afternoon. A black lab and a miniature Aussie shepherd sleep peacefully in the sun at their owner's feet. You take a long, slow sip of your cider, feeling the warmth spread through your chest as you close your eyes. You tune in to the gentle lapping of the lake against the creaking docks below. The rhythmic sound brings a sense of calm. The breeze carries waves of warmth and coolness as the canopy of maple trees overhead offers alternating shade and glimpses of sunlight filtering through the susurrating leaves on the brink of changing colors. From the orchard behind you, the distant, contented sounds of children's voices grow louder as they make their way to the cider shop, carried by the excitement from the end of a school day, the brilliant weather, and the first day of fall. You deeply connect with the wholesomeness of this moment, as it offers a sense of safety and community and fun that can't be taken for granted. You open your eyes, reveling in the perfection of this moment in this place and time. the essence of autumn reveals itself as the wind shifts with a faint trace of a sharper chill that brings a preview of the night ahead. The school children storm up the deck steps, causing a dramatic shift as they aim to balance the thick falling straps of their oversized backpacks, so focused on making their way to the treats and concoctions they plan to order once inside. You can't help but laugh at their electric joy. The last sip of your cider lingers on your tongue with a kiss of silky warmth, soothing and satisfying. You set the oversized mug down gently on the wooden table beside you. The soft clink barely audible over the sounds. Rising from your chair, you stretch your arms out toward the lake, feeling the cool evening breeze against your face and neck. You return the mug indoors as the sun dips lower, painting the sky in shades of amber and soft rose as the light filters through the lodge in rich pink gold rays. You return outside, carefully descending the steps to a path that leads to a pebbled beach. You walk to the docks where your canoe is tethered. The vintage vessel, recently refurbished, glows a deep, polished candy apple red. The school children have now settled with their drinks and after-school treats in the area where you just were, their voices carrying and echoing across the gently lapping waves. You find your balance and settle into the canoe and untie the rope from the T-shaped metal cleat, feeling the braided fibers as you wrap it in a circle around your palm and then set it in the bottom of the canoe. You use the wooden paddle to push off the dock, then gently glide it through the waves as sunset ensues. The lake stretches out before you, rippling like silk on a breeze, reflecting the lush pinks and golden oranges of the sky. Now and then, silver and moonstone light flashes from a breaching fish. As the fish splashes back into the lake, ripples spread out in wide circles until they disappear in stillness. As you effortlessly dip the paddle in and out of the water, you hear the soft splash of each stroke, rhythmic and steady, as all the voices from the lodge fade away and you inch closer to your lakeside cabin. Behind you, the lodge's gleaming windows catch the last magenta light of the day. The orchard stretches out beyond it, the manicured rows of apple trees now appearing as tiny clusters in the distance. Around Around you, the sounds of the animals that call the lake home begin to stir. The call of a loon travels across the shore, joining the deep croaks of frogs hiding in the reeds. You come to an inlet, passing a group of children splashing in the shallow waters as their demure mother watches from a wicker chair on the shore. A few senior citizens, with a dedication of Katharine Hepburn in her later years, swim farther out with their slow, methodical strokes. They've done this for decades. Their ritualistic evening swims are a farewell to the day. The lake still holds the warmth of summer, even as the air begins to cool, and they take full advantage of the tepid conditions. Your cabin atop a grassy knoll comes into view as you guide the canoe smoothly to the long, narrow dock. The windows of the cabin glow softly, welcoming you home as the sky darkens into dusty shades of blue and teal, with wisps of baby pink clouds as the world grows still. You carefully tie the rope to the dock and rise, finding your balance as you step onto the dock. As you ascend the grassy hill, the sky deepens into an inky navy shade, and the first stars twinkle like distant sky lanterns. The air is sharper now. The cool bite of the evening breeze makes you shiver slightly. You pull your flannel shirt closer and hug your body. The crispness signals that the arrival of autumn is in full force. You walk around the lakeside deck, reaching below into a wood storage bin. Your fingers brush the smooth bark of the stacked firewood, grabbing a few dry and sturdy logs and tiny blocks of tinder. You hold them close, glancing up at the twinkling string lights that now come on thanks to a timer. Their warm ivory glow illuminates the outline of the cabin, welcoming you to this cozy retreat. You ascend the stairs to the deck and step inside the cabin. The charming space feels like an autumn hug. Every corner of the interior reflecting the rich, vibrant earth tones and natural decor of the season. The log walls are the shade of shiny pennies, exuding the scent of cedar and pine that never seems to leave the air. Above the stone hearth, in the heart of the home, a vintage canoe paddle serves as a canvas for a landscape painting of the lake in autumn. There is a paddle for each season, and this one was mounted this morning to commence the autumn equinox. The cabin decor changes with the seasons, celebrating the coziest and most serene aspects of life on Lake Ontario. Autumnal rugs, throw pillows, tapestries, and plush blankets fill the space with deep burgundies, burnt oranges, and mustard yellows. A large plush area rug features a mosaic of autumn leaves in rich reds, golds, and oranges. The floor softly creaks beneath your feet, and your pet stirs, coming out of their bed by the hearth to greet you. You place down the logs and kindling in a metal basket as your pet rubs against your legs, begging for attention. You scratch their head and promise dinner will be soon. You open the fireplace screen and arrange the kindling, then draw a match from a jar on the mantel. The jars placed along other small glass vessels in varying autumnal hues that are filled with cinnamon sticks, star anise, and dried orange slices. Their fragrant, spicy aromas mingle with the sulphurous smell of a burning match as you strike it and ignite the kindling. The dry wood catches quickly, and you welcome the warmth as a cool breeze circulates through the cracked windows. You add a log and ignite another match to light candles throughout this main room. The peppery smell of burning wood soon mingles with the comforting, sweet scents of the caramel apple, sandalwood and clove, and cinnamon spice jar candles. You add a log to the fire and then fulfill the promise to your pet as you walk to the kitchen to prepare their meal. You may still view the living room from the kitchen nook. The charming space is filled with copper pots hanging from hooks, jars of dried herbs, and shelves lined with mason jars containing jams and stewed vegetables and fruit from the summer harvest. The wide kitchen windows look out on the midnight blue lake, framed by a silhouette of cedar and pine trees. You grab a ceramic blue bowl with your pet's name proudly displayed on the front from a dish rack and fill it with their food. You then place it on a placemat by the French doors to the deck. Moonlight pours through the glass as golden light and shadows from the fireplace and flickering candles dance across the open concept space, casting shadowy figures on the log ceiling. You glance out the window to catch the reflection of the twinkling porch lights in the dark blue water, like stars scattered across the surface of Lake Ontario. Autumn's palette is just beginning to take shape as the first leaves offer the slightest hint of orange and red. Your voracious pet has their bowl clean within minutes, and you step outside with them for a few moments so they may enjoy an outside break in the grass. They race down the stairs, and you trail behind as puffy, silvery white clouds lazily float across the starry sky. A thin veil of mist rises from the lake, now at least 30 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than the air. You take in the lake, the trees, and the cabin behind you, so grateful for your leisurely nighttime plans. Once back inside, you return to the living room, where the stars and inky blue sky are visible through the 4 skylights. In the glow of the fire and candles, you select your favorite vinyl album for autumn nights and place it on the record player. The analog crackle joins the crackle and pops of the fire as you retreat to your favorite chair and wrap yourself in a burgundy fleece blanket. You can feel the warmth seeping into your skin as you settle into the deep cushions and your pet nestles by your feet. Music fills the space as you allow yourself to simply be. No agenda, no plans. You get lost in the views of the stars overhead and the dancing flames that lick the black soot-stained walls of the fireplace. You close your eyes to better hear the night, inhaling the rich fragrance of the first fall night as you get lost in time. As the record stops, having reached its end, the fire has become mere embers. You rise slowly, putting it out with a sizzle. Blow out the candles, and then walk down the moonlit hall to enjoy a quick shower as your pet stands guard. The steamy water cleanses you of the day, and with your skin feeling so clean and fresh, you step out of the shower and towel off. You wrap in an oversized terry cloth robe and continue down the dimly lit hall to your bedroom with your pet at your heels. A small antique lantern on a bedside table illuminates the charming room. French doors look out onto the deck and lake as the moon rises full and high, taking on the faint hue of cantaloupe. You remove your favorite autumnal pajamas from wooden drawers beneath the captain's bed and change in the moonlight. You keep the bedroom window slightly cracked to take in the sounds of the lake and autumn night air. You peel back the heavy quilt and crisp percale top sheet and climb into bed with a heaviness that surprises you. Sleep will come in no time. Your pet finds their favorite spot to cuddle, and your head sinks into a mountain of pillows as you reflect on the beauty of the apple orchard and the cider shop. Warm memories of your interactions and observations flood your mind, bringing a soft warmth to your cheeks as you smile with gratitude. And in a state of bliss you sigh as sleep lures you with a promise of autumn dreams, finding serenity, finding comfort, finding sleep. It's time to dream away.